Okay, continuing our deep dive into Modern, playing one of the big ones today. Finally trying out creativity. The deck everyone has been insisting I try out. This list is a bit different from stock. It has Persist and Bitter Reunion, which I really wanted to give a shot. If I end up enjoying this, we'll probably try out a Teferi build later this week as well. But I thought this was a cool starting point. This build is slightly less intense on your mana, which was appealing to me. Slightly more able to cheese wins with the power of Persist. Oh no. Well, that was a phenomenal draw. I don't know if that draw is going to be good enough. But if anything is going to get me into this game, it's going to be drawing this Archon and getting to put it in play on turn 3. But obviously this is spooky. If they have a 4-mana Khan on turn 3, then I kind of need a second black source in case they blow up my black source, huh? If they have a 4-mana Khan on turn 3, then that would be a problem, because they could get a Relic of Progenitors. So let's hope they don't do that. My Timmy, Johnny, or Spike? I have self-described myself as a griefer Tammy. I gain far too much joy from playing the horrible griefing decks that people hate to play against with a million counter spells or things like that. You know? Million counter spells, stupid combos. It's my jam. Oh, we're still one color short of going binding on Ugin, huh? So if we persist the Archon, they just get to minus on it, which is very sad. But then I guess we get to fire this. Oh wait, no, we have haste. I forgot that this interaction is already broken. Ignore me. Ignore me. Oh, this is so disgusting. This is so unreasonable. What if we just had a hasty Archon? Whoa! What? Excuse me. Oh no. The highs and the lows. That was very mean. Uh-oh. So they take Leyline Binding, right? Like 100%? Yep. Oh, I don't want to lose to Eldrazi Tron. No. Oh, Stellated Octahedron with a tier 2 sub. 44 whole months. Thank you so much, Octahedron. I appreciate you. Appreciate the continued support there. Oh yeah. Oh boy. What do I do? I feel so dead. I guess I want to be casting Ice this turn, because we just need to dig to creativity to, like, do anything. And I need to get a token in play, if that's my plan. Okay. So I guess we can tap the Fortnite? Also tap the Smasher, since it attacks us for more, and discarding a card's probably not actually very relevant at the moment. a million cards in hand over here. Eldrazi is not playable in Modern. Eldrazi is playable in Modern in the sense that you can choose to put Eldrazi into your deck. Now, the card Solitude kind of made Eldrazi not very good anymore. What about Collected Company? I can't remember the last time I saw a Collected Company deck. Scavenger Grounds, huh? Okay. I'm gonna draw Creativity off the top. Fuck. Scavenger Grounds. Oh no, that's a very heads up play from my opponent. I would say Merfolk is probably more playable, which is a strong claim. I mean, if I was forced to register either Eldrazi or Merfolk for a Pro Tour, I would register Merfolk and be a little unhappy about it. What artifact can they get here? Oh, Relic of Redemptus, sure. Nod. They should probably minus on my Fable with the Ugin, right? Try and keep me off creativity next turn. I appear to be dead. I guess I could have fetched. I don't know. That doesn't exactly seem like it's winning the game for me either. Game 2. I don't know that many of these cards are very appealing. Can they beat me putting an Emrakul in play? I guess Wear Tear is good against Saga. Strike it rich just to like ramp and race them maybe. Beseiju against Tron. Spellpierce seems very bad against them. Lightning Bolt seems pretty garbage too. I guess I just do 7 for 7. I don't know, Spellpierce can be fine sometimes. It can hit Expedition map, right? It would have countered Ugin that game. Let's try this. Oh, this hand is very mediocre, but I guess I'll keep. Let's run into Fable. It could be worse than run into Fable, right? I've seen worse things. I have to crack fetch on one so that Ren on 2 actually gets a land back. I believe. There's an Emrakul. It's true, I lied. I lied about the playability of Eldrazi. I'm so sorry. Eldrazi are just the best creatures in the format. Other than Merfolk. Alright. Doing okay for ourselves here. Ren, very good with Fable. Nice little combo. Also, they're not going to have Tron turn 3. Because they have basic wastes instead. Which is nice. It's so awkward. I want to set up my colors, but I also don't want to take a billion damage. So I guess I'm just going to get a mountain. Next time we get to discard 2, do a lot of digging here. Alright, so they're going to have turn 4 Tron. Well. Get in there with the goblin. Was Human still that competitive in 2019? I guess Fury wasn't printed yet. And Humans won a Pro Tour that year, right? Yeah, I'm being silly. I'm just not remembering things clearly. Gods, because that was before Kaldheim brought down the average god. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Our deck has felt staggeringly mopey this game. Gotta say. It's an Archon. Let's get back fetch land. We can cycle this Triome. Next turn we have 7 mana. Still 1 short of Arcaning. Right, they have 7, 8, 9, 10. Ah, yes, the classic. Tap my 10 mana. Tap my Urza's Tower, cast a Matter Reshaper. Just a classic. If I don't crack this now, they can Needle the Mesa or make me feel really silly. Hey, Sophia. Although they're probably just gonna name Ren here. Oh, I kind of need to get a Blood Crypt at some point if I'm cycling this lounge. I guess that's fine. Oh, we can just destroy this too. I'm silly. We have Werta. I guess I'm just gonna do that. Felt bad to cast it for 1 mana, yup. It sure is a thing. Sure is a thing people put themselves through. We don't actually have blue mana at the moment, but also I can't imagine the spell pierce is going to do very much, so unclear that that matters. Let's say go. Next turn we get to cheat an Archon in play. Ahead before turn 8. And that's the aim of the deck, right? You're trying to cheat Archon in play before turn 8. Hey, Nicole. This card seems heinous against All's Dust, I gotta say. I could imagine this matchup potentially being tough sometimes, maybe. Question mark. Oh boy. Yeah. Here comes the Orvar. It exiles it? Oh, come on. It exiles it. This is such BS. Oh, we just don't have the card Indomitable Creativity in our deck, apparently. It just doesn't exist. Why would we ever draw an Indomitable Creativity instead of drawing multiple persists against Graveyard Hate? That would be silly. That would be very silly. Alright, at least they're drawing lands. I could just go get another dwarf. We're kind of killing them. Kind of just killing them with dwarves here. The beatdown is real. And you draw another persist to rub it in? Sure did. Look at them go! Okay, they keep drawing lands, thank god. Come on, dwarf. Slightly awkward now that if they draw a sweeper, we just don't have any more Dwarven Mines in our deck, but details. We're already through, like, 2 All's Dusts. How many can they play? Don't draw Walking Ballista. Eugene. Alright. Appears you have died, my friend. When it leaves the battlefield, what? But I guess technically they could get like a warping whale to live. Can you deal with short kings? Uh-huh. Alright. I mean, Emrakul doesn't get hit by All's Dust. Or Ugin. Just saying. Sure. I bought Abundant Growth. I mean, you have to beat Blood Moon. They're gonna have turn 3 Tron. There's always such a feel bad when you play against when you play against this deck and they have turn free Tron. Because they just don't have as much, they don't have nearly as many ways to string it together as normal Tron. Best Tron at the variant at the moment is mono green, which is still not very good. It's not very good, but it's definitely the best Tron variant. In that it wins matches. We are playing creativity. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna lose to Ugin. So we can go fetch a Xander's and finding it. A Ren and 6, sure. So I can fetch a Xander's. Yeah, I guess I have to. I can't do both of these in the same turn, regardless of how I set it up. I'm just gonna do this, and we're just gonna hope they don't have an All Is Dust in hand, I guess. Yup. I take Fable, probably. Or maybe Bitter Reunion. They take Fable. It's kind of the same thing. Okay, we actually drew the card. Do I just have to go for it this turn? Or do I want to wait a turn so I get another one? I can like go for 2 Archons next turn. I guess if they had another Fortnite, they would have just cast it, right? Oh, I'm worried about drawing second Archon, I guess. That's spooky. We only have 2 left in our deck. That's so bad. I don't know. I think I meant to do this and wait a turn. It's obviously really, really bad if I draw second Archon. Right. So I could just get a Ren into play, but I guess I would rather say go and have Leyline Binding open. And then next turn, provided we don't draw one, we get 2 Archons. That should be good enough. Alright, 1/8. Oh, I guess they could have Warping Whale. That would suck. Or maybe I was meant to just binding the Fortnite then. To play around Warping Whale. Now I kind of lose the game if they have that. Whereas if the Fortnite isn't in play, I have a lot more time. Yep. Oh boy. Okay. I get the chump Fortnite, I guess. We really need to draw another creativity now. Alright, let's binding the Fortnite and see what we find. Seiju. That can kill Pithing Needle? And then my Ren works? Though Ren working doesn't really achieve very much at the moment. Guess we'll just get Ren down and say go. Oh, can start killing their lands. That's true. Huh. Hey, money. That's true. I'm not clear how much that achieves me either, but like they have so many draw steps before that starts mattering. Yep. God, this deck felt very clunky that game. I don't know. I don't know. Persist was so bad against all that graveyard hate, but keep trying. I don't really understand how you win games if you don't draw the card creativity. Or persist, I guess. Like... Kinda confused about that one. We're on a quick ad break to go to pre-rolls whilst we wait for the next match to begin. Alright, if any hand's gonna be good, it's gonna be this. We have Ren on 2, we have interaction, we have the card. Have the good card that lets us actually win games. Alright. I guess I'm shocking myself here. Starting the game on like 14. So I can cast my cards. Hey Gwen, good to see you. Good morning. I will say, previous match to Ferry would have been phenomenally better than Persist. And it would not have been very close. So that's something to be aware of. Would have just been like night and day how much better it would have been against my opponent's graveyard hate. Yep. Just get 2 arc on that, right? Oh, they plussed. Interesting. Go find a dwarven mine. Oh, I guess they could have solitude. Am I meant to wait? Like, I have another creativity in hand. I can just go for it, but I'm not only going to have 1 dwarf next turn as well. So I don't know. So there you go. I'm glad I got rid of that solitude before they had a Risen Reef in play and an Ephemerate open. That worked out okay for us. Just bouncing Risen Reef, they're really looking for another solitude to keep themselves safe. Or a lightning bolt or something like that. I'm just gonna go for it again. I just don't want to give them more time to draw into answers. Like, it's not getting better for us if I wait, right? Not with them having Risen Reef in hand. Cool. Discard the Risen Reef. Gonna lose. Discard a card here, which is fine actually, because we can just discard the Archon. That works out pretty nicely. And we get to persist it next turn. Yeah, I get to ult run in 6 next turn too. Yeah, it's just very sick. Creativity is the 4-color nightmare. It seems like they've been putting up a good fight. I don't know. Like, if they had another Solitude there, we probably just really struggle to win this game. Ren gets bolted by Omnath, so I guess we're going to be minusing on a Reef now instead. Thunk. Move to combat. Combat Wombat. Getting an attack. Alright, Fable's a nice draw. Back this Archon. Alright, that game was fairly straightforward. We just jammed every turn and eventually they ran out of stuff that could stop us. How do I want to sideboard here? I kind of feel like we're probably not sideboarding much, right? Do they even play many things that Veil hits? Many counterspells? Let's have a look at a 4-color list. There might be some like Flusterstorms in the board. I don't know. Doesn't really seem like Veil seems very impressive. Oh, Veil's alright because of Orvar. Oh, that's an interesting point. I guess Veil's like okay against Orvar. What cards are bad? Spell Pierce hits Ren and Tef, but seems pretty unexciting outside of that. Yeah, Abundant Growth is for Blood Moon. I don't need to be able to kill Nissa and Risen Reef, so Bolt doesn't seem terrible. You would trim Persists because of Endurance. Yeah, Rune Tef would be nice here, it would. Someone was saying in chat yesterday that Tef can be really awkward in terms of like the stress it puts on your mana base, which makes a lot of sense to me. But it's definitely sad to not have the card. God, this hand seems so atrocious. We can't keep this, right? Spellpierce isn't even that good against them. Having an Archon in our opener is like really bad now that we don't have Persists in our deck. Again. Keep, I guess. Why not? Is Veil even good against Orvar? I worry that a lot of the time you Veil the Orvar trigger and then they just untap and attack with the Orvar. And you still have to sack your Archon, right? Or am I missing something? Oh, it prevents them from making a token. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. That's funny. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, I'll admit. I actually had no idea it worked that way. I hated you until someone did it versus Yoruba. Oh no. Oh no. This is so terrifying. Like, I guess we're just gonna Ren, right? Gonna Ren, start making tokens. Let's just make it off. So I guess we're just meant to like kind of vibe, right? Keep making good dwarves, keep attacking, force them to take the first act. That makes sense for her. Are they thinking about like flashing in an endurance or something? Yeah, I saw Curse of Silence too. That card seems sweet against Cascade for sure. Curse of Silence sounds actually pretty legit. I guess it's not clear that it's any better than Chalice. But it can probably come in more places than Chalice, right? Deploy the Fable. Fetch the basic. They're planning on casting something here? Aren't these so? I guess they're going for a Solitude? Kill my goblin? Let's just bolt this. Can't attack my Ren. Oh yeah, they could be brought back, right? They could be a brought back elementals build. That would be sweet. Let's just make a token. Assemble the dwarves. Alright, get back this dwarven mine. I guess I can attack before doing the thing, right? I feel like they must have a counterspell in hand at this point. This is my concern. Maybe this is bad. Well, they go Solitude Ephemerate, and then we get like one Archon, and then they Orvar it. I don't know. Suddenly is a Staticaster. Yeah, I would lose my mind. That would be so messed up. Eladamri's cool. They can fetch Orvar with Eladamri's cool. That's so sick. That's so cute. Oh no, I'm just dead. I'm just like turbo dead. Huh? They're gonna ephemerate this. Oh, okay. Well, I get 2 Archons. Doesn't 2 Archons beat Orvar? I believe. Oh, they should discard Orvar second. Ah. Yeah, or they mess up. Or they have 2 Orvars. The other option. Oh my god. Like, I don't know what I was meant to do differently this game. I have literally no idea how I meant to play this game differently. Did I mess up somewhere? Like... Still winnable? Maybe. Seems pretty tough. I guess I get to binding the Orvar. I don't know, that deck goes so big. If we don't do something soon. I'm gonna slip very rapidly out of reach. Bitter Reunion first, yeah. That's the plan. Oh, as in last time we get a Bitter Reunion first. Ah, that's true. I was just worried about waiting any longer, but when I didn't really have much going on other than the creativity. And every single turn they're drawing into more and more answers. Or more and more interaction. Get to be dead. This Archon. Let's play out this Ren. Kind of want to kill the Ragavan, because I feel like if they draw more elementals, I just can't possibly win anyway. And the Ragavan attacks through reflection. Oh my god. They fetch Titania now? The fact that they can tutor for Orvar feels like it must make this matchup pretty tough. They have a lot of copies of that card, and they can just like naturally get 2 of them at a time fairly often. They have Elishnorn as well. How do I ever be in Elishnorn? I guess you have to attack. Ah, it's true. Yeah, I could haste this. And copy Archons, yeah. Trying to figure out if this game is remotely winnable anymore. I guess if I creativity into an Archon, I get to copy it, attack with 2 Archons, get 2 attack triggers. And maybe that's good enough. Oh, I could creativity the Norn. Oh, that's a good point. Doesn't seem like it's gonna matter though. Yeah, I missed that you can just creativity Norn. Huh. Interesting. Alright, fetch a Dwarven Mine. Oh my god. Hellish Norn, right. Huh. That's funny. Game free. I don't know. It feels like we might just need the Persists to be able to grind. I have no idea how you grind against their deck without this card. But the Archons just don't end up in the yard, so I guess that doesn't work. That doesn't actually do anything. Maybe you just need all 3 Veil of Summers. I'm really worried that if they get a Teferi in play, Veil of Summer just doesn't have text anymore, but... Right. I guess I'm meant to keep this. I gotta say, we're only 2 matches in, but I'm like really close to just saying that I never want to play this deck ever again. I guess I get this. Right, so now they can resolve run in 6 if they have it. Top 2 decks in the format do not impress Rain. Both of them just feel like so mediocre when I play them. I don't know. I have no idea why you would ever play this over Breach. Breach seems like way better than this. Like, this is kind of what I feared when I chose to play creativity. Like, you're just putting a bunch of, like, awkward, restrictive interaction in your deck. Like, Spell Pierce and, like, Lightning Bolt and stuff. That, like, won't always do what you actually want it to. In the hopes that you draw your creativity. And when you don't draw your creativity, your deck just doesn't do anything. I don't know. I'm like really sus on this deck. Maybe I meant to make a dwarf there so I can start attacking. I don't really want to expose them to Fury, but I guess Fury is a card my opponent probably doesn't keep in against me. Okay, if we draw a creativity, we have Veil, so we have decent odds at resolving it and not getting Orvard. This is not clear to me what this deck's plan is when you don't draw creativity. Is a big part of why like I'm very unimpressed with it so far. I don't know. I could have been making more dwarves and starting to attack. I actually have no interaction with Solitude if they just start deciding to cast them and block with them. So maybe I'm just meant to hope my opponent's a coward and doesn't go for that. But that seems very wishful thinking. Yup. I mean, I can cast an Archon. We've already confirmed they have like a million Orbars in their deck, though. I feel like if I cast Archon, I'm just gonna lose the game. I need to wait until I draw a 9th mana so I can have Veil open. I don't know. I can't imagine this is possibly good enough, but we have to do it. Maybe I meant to cast Veil first, because now Veil can get spell pierced. I was probably meant to cast Veil before Archon, I guess. But then they just get to wait on the Orvar until next turn. So it's not clear that really necessarily helps that much. Please work. Always make him have it. Oh, it doesn't stop them from making the token? Oh, interesting. I mean, it stops them from targeting, right? Yup. Oh boy. I guess we probably have to block with a dwarf this turn. They have a fetch land in play, so we're like on a virtual 4 less life than it seems like. They have another fetch land, they get to go find a Solitude. They do not have another fetch land though. Interesting. What on earth is their hand? Endurance me. Oh, Endurance themselves to put the Orvar back in the deck so they can go find it. Okay. Also, they can sack the Endurance. That also makes sense, I guess. Well, Archon just resolved. That's kind of nice, I guess. That's something. We have another Dwarf in mind in the deck, so I'll play this out. Still not clear that I can really win this game, but maybe. Maybe? I don't know, they just get to go get a Solitude with Nissa is the problem. And then we're just like back to nothing. Yeah, this matchup feels so tough. Like, I don't understand how you win games against them if you don't draw creativity. And then if you do, you have to wait until you have like the resources to play around Solitude and Orvar. Okay, we have one Archon left in our deck. I'll see you, Manny. Enjoy the Spider-Verse. Oh, that card's really good. I just bounce Solitude, right? I can't possibly win this game. Let's move on. Wow, that was such a beating. That felt so hard. I'm gonna run a quick ad break before our next round, then we'll hop on in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would never register this deck for a tournament. I understand that it wins a lot and that people like it a lot and whatever, but I refuse to play a deck that just can't win if it doesn't draw like a 4 of. That sounds just like the most miserable tournament in the world to me. Just bad vibes all around. So I I don't know. I'm kind of getting the sense. I'm kind of So there have been a lot of times when I have not done my due diligence in terms of playing tier 1 decks. Like for the previous standard format, I played literal 0 matches with the Rakdos midrange deck and Grixis midrange decks. I literally never touched them in my like few months of playing the format. Like they just didn't appeal to me. I was just like, I just enjoy playing my white mid-range decks. I'm just gonna keep doing this. Which like felt really irresponsible to me and was part of why I'm trying to like make sure I play all the tier 1 decks now just to get a feel for them. And the more I play the tier 1 decks, the more I'm like, maybe I just need to trust my gut more. Like, I don't know. Half these decks are not very appealing to me on paper, and in fact, not actually very appealing to me when I play them. It's like Amulet Titan in Modern. Amulet Titan has Urza Saga, though. Like, sure, you need to draw an amulet, but you have 8 amulets in your deck, right? So it's fine. Yes, if I get this and I draw a binding. Oh, just not interested in playing it. I would say I'm more interested in playing Amulet than this deck at the moment, but yeah. Like, my main concern with Amulet is I just feel like Blood Moon is such a big percentage of the tier 1 right now. Like, Blood Moon's kind of just everywhere. Learning how they lose, indeed, is valuable. It's also valuable from the perspective of seeing, like, sometimes they don't have everything. You know, sometimes the creativity player just doesn't draw creativity. I disagree, Dirk. I think Blood Moon's great against Amulet. I think Blood Moon is very clearly an excellent card against Amulet. Like, I feel like the vast majority of games where I've resolved Blood Moon against Amulet, I have won very easily. They have milled 3 of my 4 Archons, so that's fun. Oh. God. I guess we really want to have Spell Pierce open, right? I would say Mill is better than Eldrazi. I think Mill is like not a good deck, but it's pretty substantially better than Eldrazi. I don't think there's like much of a competition. I don't know, I could have Fabled here. I feel like I really want Spell Pierce open, and I only have 1 Archon left in my deck anyway. Spell Piercing Atashes seems like potentially important. But it's also very telegraphed that we have Spell Pierce, so there's a chance they just don't play into it. Right, we have an Emrakul on the sideboard. I now understand what the Emrakul is for. So that's nice. And also, they're not going to draw 3 crabs every single game. So, supposedly. And we have Lethal next turn if they don't do anything. Oh, they just got to Field of Ruin. That's terrifying. Okay, I have 5 cards left, friend. Cycling to mill 4 doesn't kill me. Alright. I mean, like to declare attacks. Oh, they get to mill 4 in response to the Archon trigger. if they had another Fractured Sanity. That would have been so funny. That would have been such a funny way for me to lose the game. Alright, Emrakul's coming in. Turn the Earth. Shuffles 3 cards into my library. I mean, sure. Why not? Why not? Veil of Summer, maybe? I feel like Lightning Bolt's kind of necessary. I feel like Leyline Binding is pretty substantially slower than Lightning Bolt. Especially if our triumphs are getting milled. Military union's probably not actually necessary, huh? They're just gonna mill my Archons for me, and we use Veil to protect them from, like, surgical. Hope they don't have extirpate. Gab with the raid. Welcome to everyone joining us. Good to have you all here. You've arrived in time to hear me badmouth all the tier 1 modern decks whilst I rave about how good Breach is. Oh. Can we get a shout out for Gab? Turn the Earth Terrible card. Yeah! I don't disagree. I don't believe it's a card I would actually register in a Magic the Gathering deck, but... Oh, because you've been playing Goryeos? I saw some of that earlier. Going very off the deep end. Seems sweet, though. So we don't have Binding in our deck anymore, so I guess I just get Xander's. We don't actually need white mana. You like it? I don't know. I'm probably just salty because I'm not enjoying this deck very much so far. It's probably fine. Opponent is not doing anything, which I gotta say I'm a fan of. I should maybe have cracked this in my turn. They could draw the Mill 13 that wants me to have searched my library. Might have been a bit loose. Couldn't have played around it. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh my fucking god. Oh. Okay. Sure thing, opponent. Sure thing. Oh, if only we had turned the Earth open. Look. Played perfectly. I don't know. Opponent mulled to 5 this game, so it's not like this game actually already means anything. Ren and 6, huh? Well, Indomitable Creativity does go find Emrakul, which does end the game quickly. I kind of want to keep Emrakul in my deck, though. I feel like we're going to end the game pretty quickly regardless. I feel like you're going to end the game pretty quickly regardless. Game 1 of this matchup seems really tough, but these post-board games kind of nice. So much deep interaction for what they're doing. Just kill them with tokens. I feel like I would really like to just start making dwarves. Speed up my clock. Edron Crab. Cool. Oh boy, that's a lot of triggers. 9 cards. I guess it's fine. I guess we just want to save Veil to protect Emrakul from a surgical, right? Or protect ourselves from Tasha's. Not much else actually matters. I guess we can run into Extirpate, but even then we get our whole library back. Seems fine. Wow, they're making 2 blue sources. They might be going for Tasha's here. Straight into our Spell Pierce. Interesting. Oh, it can't protect against Tasha's? Really? I didn't realize that. Clearly I've not played against Mill enough. Each opponent? Gross. Let's put some expensive cards back in my deck, I guess, for sake of Tasha's. Put back these Fables. We still have a very fast clock here. Wait, what? 4 mana. Wild. Sure. We have 0 cards in hand, so this seems fine for me. Come on, is this a commander card? I know it's oh, isn't Tasha's being worded that way as for commander? Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, I guess we want to attack first, because they can't block as long as Ren is in play. And then we can plus after combat. So I didn't welcome people in. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I am Rain or Rainy or Autumn. All those are good. Play a bunch of Magic, occasionally top 8 a Pro Tour or 2. Currently trying to figure out what on earth to play at the Modern Pro Tour. By which I mean trying to figure out if any deck is playable apart from Breach, because Breach is cracked. Breach is so good. So I'm kind of working my way through all the tier 1 and 2 decks, just giving them all a spin and seeing how they all feel to me. Oh, and you used to copy my decks back in the Oko time. Sweet. It's great to have you here. Mill looking like a good choice here. Mill's looking... I don't know that I call it terribly impressive. Are you playing Breach at your weekly today because of me? Awesome. Good luck. Hope you crush it. Only Trap and the O2 Crab get hit by Veil. Wow, I should have used this Veil earlier. Veil suddenly seeming less impressive. I guess it also hits Surgical. I assume you and permanents you control. Nope. Just nothing gets hit by Veil, apparently. Do I not like Shadow Prophecy in this deck? This is my first time ever playing Creativity. I do not have strong opinions on how to build it yet. So... well, since we've learned that Veil is not actually incredible, I can just get the Dwarven Mine back with Ren anyway. Discarding and drawing is a bit awkward against the Mill deck, I guess. It's also a bit awkward because we could draw our Emrakul, and that would suck. So maybe I just wasn't meant to do that. But finding a removal spell is like really nice. Oh, I was definitely meant to attack first, right? Now I don't have lethal because now they can block a 1/1. Not gonna matter. We like gonna really struggle to lose this game, but like misplays. Oh, they're just blocking the goblin anyway. Cool. Alright with me. Yeah, the more control-y persistless version. I was a little bit worried about, like, the mana requirements in that version. I guess even in this version, the mana requirements are pretty intense. It probably doesn't actually make that much of a difference, right? Like, the reality is no matter which version you're playing, your mana is going to be a bit awkward, and you just have to accept that and hope the power level makes up for it. The old Yorion list. Interesting. I don't remember what Yorion decks are you referring to? The Yorion deck I played, the Elementals one, I found the mana was just incredible. Because your fetch lands were so good. Like, fetch lands are just incredible in Yorion decks. Mulligan. Guess I'm keeping. Feels like the hand doesn't do very much, but it does creativity on 4, and that's probably pretty good. Oh no. Oh no. Coffers. Wow, this game's gonna be hard to win. Good lord. This matchup must be so hard. Just pile discard spells. They can kind of go over the top of an Archon too, right? It's like pretty trivial for them to go over the top of an Archon. Sincerely, I think if you forced me to choose between registering this deck or registering Merfolk, it would be like legitimately a very hard decision for me. I don't know, y'all. It has prettier card art, it's true. Merfolk has that going for it. It's true. I went 4-1 with Merfolk, and the deck felt pretty bad the entire time. The entire time that we were winning games, the deck did not feel very good. Merfolk is unplayable. I'm aware Merfolk's unplayable. I just don't understand how people win with this deck. Whereas at least I understand how people win with Merfolk. Mainly having their opponents get slightly unlucky and turning their creatures sideways. What is their deck? Oh, they're Abzan coffers, maybe? There's an Abzan coffers deck, right? I feel like I just need to hit all my land drops. Oh no, the Abzan coffers deck plays Amori. I feel like I need to hit all my land drops so that I can, like, cast Archons. I don't know. Blinding us with reflection from their foils. That sounds likely. That's a good win con. Alright, they're just Abzam, apparently, with main deck Surgical. Cool. We are gonna lose to Lingering Souls in the year 2023. I mean, they have exiled all our copies of Indomitable Creativity. So it's either persist the 8 drops or just hope to hardcast them. Are the two routes we have here, Luke. Those are the two options. I'm not saying either of these options are good. Wow. Opponent. Opponent. Opponent, please. That's not how you exile Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. I gotta say, every time I draw Persist, it feels very hard to actually reliably have Archon in your bin for it. Cool. Trading this off for this is kind of a win. Buys us more time. This doesn't work with Atraxa. Non-legendary. I tried Goryo's. I tried the Kragenwick Asmerano Mardica Dicena Kudaka version. And it felt really bad. But the Goryo stuff and the Asmo stuff individually felt good. So I could imagine there's a good Goryo's deck out there that I need to try at some point. But the Kragenwick version felt heinous. Like, the card Kragenwick Cremator was just a stone brick. It was so bad. Gab was playing a pretty solid version today. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out at some point. It looked pretty interesting. I could kill 2 Lingering Souls here. That doesn't really seem like it's gonna let me win. I feel like I'm just meant to cantrip. And, like, look for a Fable. Or whatever. Didn't have the food nonsense. Doing Ephemerate Grief stuff. You get to play, like, the Scam package in your Reanimator deck, which is nice. Sounds pretty interesting. I might end up bolting a Spirit soon. Yes. Now is pretty soon. Have I tested Living End? Yeah, Living End is one of the decks I've actually enjoyed. So I've tested about 10 decks now. And of those, Breach felt great. Like, fair Breach decks just feel actively great. I think Murktide is, like, technically good, but just strictly worse than Breach. I don't see why you would ever play Murktide over Breach. Living End was pretty good, and Scales was pretty good. And then all the other decks I've tried, I have not enjoyed. Half of which were Wilderness Right. That's not true. What have we... So I tried Rhinos, Hammer Time, various Wilderness Wreck builds, Living End, Murktide, Breach, Asmogorio, Merfolk, Creativity. Bash them in the face instead of a value engine, but like... Breach bashes them in the face. Breach bolts them for 9. Like, you can just kill them with that card if that's, like, really the argument. But the games where they have a removal spell for your Murktide, Breach is just such a better Magic card. Because you just draw 5 cards. Hammer, I didn't like Hammer very much. Although I played it quite badly, I will admit. It seems so much of Hammer was just down to getting the good draws. Generic Ragavan Breach. But you're basically just playing strictly better Murktide if you play generic Ragavan Breach. And Murktide's already like a fine deck. The opponent's Surgical are Indomitable Creativities. It's the hardest deck to play. I could believe that. I could certainly believe that I was throwing away a lot of percentage points with it. But I still wasn't terribly impressed. A good deck out there for Nissa? Yeah, I have to imagine there is. They haven't brought these Lingering Souls back yet. Yeah, Jeskai Breach. The list I played was just blue-red, but both Jeskai and blue-red seem very appealing. I guess we're gonna be Leyline Binding a Spirit Token. And hoping to draw an Archon. And hoping they don't have removal spells in their Abzan mid-range hand for my Archon. A lot of hoping here. I see Sultai Shadow. Yeah, Sultai Shadow seemed pretty sweet. I could imagine that deck being decent. The Invasion of Ikoria is a hell of a Magic card. I probably left a few damage on the table here, but I don't know that it really matters. Dress down with Shadow. It's like a solid interaction. Slightly awkward that it nombos with Tarmogoyf, but yeah, deck seemed like it has a lot of play. I think Sultai Shadow is probably a good deck. Cool. I'm excited to play any of the Lord of the Ring cards, the One Ring. I think the One Ring is going to be very sweet. Very powerful. I don't know that there are any others that excite me, but that one seems pretty nice. Let's bring in Veil. Bring in Veil and probably not much else. Lightning Bolt seemed really not very good that game. It was very flavorful, yeah, for sure. Mini M7RK, thank you for that Prime Gaming sub. Thank you so much for supporting me and my content. I really appreciate that. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Let's try it like this, I guess. See how this rolls. Can't imagine it winning a major tourney. I mean, it can win a major tourney. I feel like any of the tier 1 decks can win a major tourney if you run hot with them. But I can't imagine me winning a major tourney with it. I'm probably not going to play it. Alright, this is a good hand. Hard for any deck to win a major tourney, true. Hey, Adam. You ring in Hallowed Moonlight Lingering Souls. Indeed. I gotta say, like, I agree with the reasoning for Teferi being awkward in terms of mana. That makes a lot of sense. But the card Persist has been very bad for me so far. The card Persist. Maybe I meant to Steam Vents so that I can Spell Pierce a discard spell on my Ren. So if they discard my Ren, my hand just does literally nothing. But I really wanted to go get a Triome so that my mana functions this game. Okay, well. Good. Like, Persist seems like the sort of card that you get to high roll with sometimes. And when you do, it probably looks amazing. But you also just, like, draw it and don't have any targets for it a lot of the time. There's just, like, even more ways that the deck can just draw awkwardly when it already has, like, enough of those ways. So I don't know. I've not played against any Murktide. We have mainly played against unplayable decks. And elementals. I guess we faced elementals as well. Which is like a fine deck, probably. Prismatic Ending. Oh, Stoneforge Mystic. Interesting. Right. I mean, we can't really beat that card at the moment. I guess. Getting Sophie. So does that mean they have... Caldra in hand? Like, I don't know if I'm into binding this or binding the sword. I guess I can spell pierce the sword if I'm binding this. I'm scared of Caldra. Yeah, that makes sense, Adam. It definitely helps against heat. Like, they're one of the few decks where they can, like, let an Archon resolve and just kill it. And keep playing Magic. Whereas a lot of decks either lose to that or have exile removal. Magic Ending on Ren. I almost want to let this resolve because it feels like this Ren's not going to do very much from here. We already have 7 lands locked up. Also, I don't know what else this Spell Pierce is hitting. I don't know. Maybe I meant to counter that. Maybe I'm just like meant to use the Spell Pierce whilst it has a target, but it also feels like the Ren literally doesn't matter anymore. Spell Pierce could help for forcing for a combo, maybe. Okay. For another land. Sure. That makes sense, Sophia. It's kind of up to you whether you like it or not. Repaying lands is good for looting. Yeah, but that requires us to ever draw a looting effect. Looks like a hard cast Archon game, maybe. Right. I'm really oh, they're missing a land drop, thank goodness. They can't actually resolve Sophie very easily then. That is a relief. Please let me draw creativity. Red and 6 is a check on souls, that's true, I didn't consider that. I'm not used to the concept of having to play around the card Lingering Souls, but you're right. That's a good reason to keep Red and 6 around, actually. Yep. Oh my god. It is so hard to win with this deck when you don't draw the card Creativity. Yeah, I'm well and safe and hydrated, it's true. Hope you are as well. 40 lands might be too many. I'll cut a couple. We can go down to like 38 lands and see how that performs. Thing is, it's not even that we're flooding, it's that like half our spells don't do anything if we draw them, right? Like this whole league, I've consistently got the impression that I just fundamentally do not know how you win games with this deck without drawing the card Creativity. And I just really don't want to draw a card that's reliant on play a deck that's reliant on drawing a 4 of. Like that sounds horrendous. Do not see the Enchantment Wilderness Rack, indeed. Indeed. Need to fix that one. I might have to pay 2 life here, so that I guess I can play a fetch land, and that way I can have. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Kaya's Guile. Do I counter that? This is with Renault. Renault doesn't even do anything. Like, we just drew Spell Pierce, right? If I don't counter this, they just get to answer my Ren by attacking them. So I guess we have to counter this. Because this is just gonna kill me too fast, probably. His opponent broken modern, apparently. You only draw lands, nothing does much of anything. True. True. But also, like, half the spells in our deck don't do anything, right? We draw like a Spell Pierce or whatever, it's just like, okay. Two turns till hard cast, yup. Two turns remain. Oh, I should actually maybe fetch Blood Crypt here because it saves me 2 life. It means I don't get a dwarf this turn, but saving 2 life is actually pretty relevant, right? I'm kind of getting beaten down, and I don't think the extra dwarf is going to matter at all. Cool. That makes sense. I've never played a Diablo game. Honestly, it doesn't super appeal to me. Games where you like grind the same encounters over and over and over to get better loot are like very unappealing to me. Sounds sounds like very uninspiring gameplay, but like maybe it's better than that. Like I know that aspect of MMOs has always not appealed to me very much either. It's like I could do that, or I could, you know, play lots of unique encounters until the game's complete and go do something else with my life. I'm busy fighting in the streets. This is also true. I've been enjoying Street Fighter so far. It's been pretty fun. Street Fighter 6. Maybe good actually. Oh, they're gonna get to Sophie me next turn. If they draw a land. Probably getting very unlucky here, missing land drops for so many turns. It's basically the only reason we're still potentially in this game. You like attacking now? Yeah, I guess I just figure like if I draw creativity, I don't know, maybe you're right. I mean, not really. They play out differently. Different, like, kind of disagree with that. Like, I really enjoyed Monster Hunter Rise for like the first 50 hours or so. I thought that game was a lot of fun. But once I got to like the 50-hour mark, I was kind of burnt out on it and didn't really want to do any more content because it felt like I would just be doing the same fights I'd already done. And like, unlike Magic, where you can play a matchup you've played before and it can play out in a completely new, strange way that you've never seen before, it felt like with that game, you fight the monster that has this move set and it's gonna go this way or whatever, and you're meant to do these things. Yeah, also that bird friender. Yeah, the aim of playing Magic is just to learn and improve. And like regardless of results, you're learning through the process. Well, I was wondering if they would have Assassin's Trophy. Interesting. Okay, so we need to draw like specifically creativity next term. Ruining jokes with facts, SMH. Wow, this deck felt so heinous this game. Holy shit. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm gonna go get some water real quick, and then we'll play another match. I'll be right back. I'm gonna run some ads whilst I'm gone to get rid of pre-rolls. Return. On to the next one. The gameplay loop felt a bit kind of empty and unenjoyable, but you didn't want to put it down. Yeah. I think my attitude towards games is very much that, like, I think not wanting to put a game down is a neutral statement that can sometimes be a good thing. Because it can sometimes mean that the story's really interesting and engaging, or the gameplay is really rewarding and you just want to play more of it. But it can also be a really bad thing, because it can mean the game's just built on like addiction loops and compulsion loops and really bad stuff like that. Like, whenever I hear about a game making someone not want to put it down, in my head I'm like, that could be a compliment, but it's probably something I should be really wary of. It's probably actually something I should be wary of. Being against the time yourself on the timer in Monster Hunter makes the grind a lot more enjoyable. That makes sense. That's a fun way of doing it. Alright, this hand seems incredibly clunky and awkward, but also we actually have the card Indomitable Creativity in our opening hand for the first time in 10 games, so yes, I'm keeping. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to mulligan this hand, but it also seems heinous. Yeah, idle games. I really hate idle games for that reason. Idle games are very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Hey, we drew a lightning bolt. Hey, Silverheart. Good to see ya. So if you have to crack fetch lands turn 1 and 2, do you just, to cast your spells, do you just accept that you don't have half your colors? Like, is that how it works? And you also just accept that you're starting the game on 14? I really don't want to do that. I feel like I just have to like bolt this in my turn. So I start on 18 instead of 14 and have functional mana. I guess that's the case. Oh, this is such a weird draw. I really want to be able to beat Spell Pierce, so I guess now I'm gonna do this. Yeah, Cookie Click is an idle game. Cookie Click is kind of a weird idle game, because on some level, it's like satirizing the concept of the sort of things that lead to idle games. And at another level, it still ends up affecting people in the same way, so like, you know, that's kind of bad. I'd rather have a white or green mana. Which color would I like to cut myself off of? I guess we need removal spells in this matchup, so we're gonna get white mana. Old school RuneScape an idle game? Good question. I've heard of people playing RuneScape as if it's an idle game. So, who knows? I've never actually played it myself. It did not really capture teenage me, and I've seen no reason to return to it, but... Yeah, for sure, Dokumoy. When I was younger, if I said I can't put a game down, it was a compliment, and now it would be like, I'm not sure I would actually describe a game that way. You found a Java code to min-max Cookie Clicker? Oh my gosh. It's intense. Yeah, Universal Paperclip is like the one idle game I like genuinely respect. that I've played for that reason. Like, combination of you can't really get addicted to it because it has an endpoint, and also it does have an actual point to it outside of just like making you obsessed with it. Like, it's actually like doing things as artistic intent in some way. Yeah, I have to be very careful about it, Bird Friender. I don't want to stop playing video games because I really enjoy them, but I am a little bit careful about it for sure. Well, ooh, talking about Souls games, in a couple hours' time, I'm going to be streaming some Elden Ring seamless co-op with my Polycule. We will be continuing our adventure. I am playing a healer that is not allowed. God, my opponent literally has a million answers to this, but like, what the hell else am I meant to do? I'll be playing a healer that's not allowed to hurt anyone. One of my teammates will be playing a mage that is not allowed to heal, so I have to actively try and heal her and keep her alive. And then the other one of us is a scrappy little samurai. It's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be starting in about 2 hours. Had raccoons in a similar sort of point? Yeah, I've actually played that one. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Trash the Planet? Was that it, Callie? I think it might be Trash the Planet. We need Strike It Rich because of Blood Moon. We need Veils because of counterspells. I have literally no idea how we make room for 5 cards. Feels incredibly daunting. Yeah, I think people exaggerate how tough the games are. Like, part of it is just getting used to that style of gameplay, but part of it is just like, if you talk to friends who've played the game before and can give you advice on like places to go or whatever, or on what weapons are good, that makes it a lot easier. Like, a lot of the actual challenge in those games is on like an informational level, where like, if you don't know what things to prioritize in your build or like what places to head, that definitely makes things a lot tougher. Yeah, I'm also a FromSoft fangirl, so you know, slightly biased. I genuinely have no idea what to board out. Seems hard with my current party. Yeah, that's because we're making it arbitrarily difficult. Yeah, felt very opaque in that regard. Yeah, that's part of where just like having friends who are playing it helps a lot. Who've played it helps a lot, and getting to talk with them. I guess I take out this card. Kills Ragavan is the problem. We still have 8 Ragavan answers. More of an illusion. Yeah, Elden Ring's definitely a little bit harder in some regards once you get into like the late game. But also there are ways to make it easier for yourself. Like if you look into like how to do summoning, that helps a lot. Or you can like just play with friends. You can like just invite your friends into your world to help you when you need it. Um Problem is, Spell Pierce seems pretty good. I don't know. I just don't know how you make room for everything. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity to make things easier. Yeah, like the reality is that when you play the games, you don't have to run around and just hit things with your sword and have that be the only thing you can do, right? Like you can play the game that way if you want to, and that's how you enjoy it. But you can also like use spells and invite friends to your world to help you and like use summons and all that sort of stuff. And like every single thing you use is going to make the game a bit easier for you and make it more manageable. If it's like something you're struggling with but you still want to play. Yeah, Elden Ring is more accessible, but the bosses get a lot tougher than any in the Dark Souls games once you get into the game for sure. I definitely agree with that. Have I played Sekiro? Yeah, I did. Honestly, I didn't like Sekiro as much as the other games. I think Sekiro is my least favorite of like that batch of games from FromSoft, but it is cool. I liked I think the core gameplay of that game is incredible. And like the best fights at using that core gameplay are like some of the best stuff they've ever done. Like I would love to just have a whole game that's just the parry loop, you know? That stuff is great. Gets points from being where you started doing victory bars. Important. Yeah. I don't know. Like there are definitely some bosses in Elden Ring where I would probably prefer their design, if not for the fact they had to be designed with summons in mind. But the summons are very cool. And I think from my perspective, I just kind of accepted that, like, if I just wanted to do the two-hand big sword, no summons, no help playthrough of like a FromSoft game, I could just go play the other games. And those are, you know, I can still just go do that in the other games. And when it comes to Elden Ring, I can just accept that that's like not as much of a thing, but there are like lots of other ways to play the game and lots of other ways for me to enjoy it, so it's fine. The game is very strange. Feels like we are doing nothing, but our opponent is also doing nothing, except they're about to cast a Murktide region I can literally never beat. Ooh, good talk. Hmm. Yeah, no second league. I'm also just like pretty worn out today and want to go rest for a little bit before dinner as well. I can kill this if they literally don't have a counterspell in hand. That seems like really wishful thinking, but I don't know. I don't know that I really have another option. I guess I can do that next turn instead, because they have to attack Ren this turn anyway. Cool. Yeah, why summon a player when you can just use your actual summons? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm definitely not about to defend like the summoning system is perfect or whatever, you know. I recognize it had problems, but I also thought it was pretty cool and fun in its own way. Summon Ashens and players at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's what seamless co-op is for. Seamless co-op mod is broken. It's so good. Legit kind of love it. Very excited to stream some of it this evening. I have no idea how I ever win this game. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that if I was forced to choose between registering Merfolk or Creativity and was told those are the literal only two decks I'm allowed to choose, I think I would register Merfolk. It's about how much I've not been enjoying this deck. See you, bird friend. Thank you for hanging out. Like, I'm at the point where I don't understand how anyone wins with this deck. Maitland Fort and Merfolk, obviously a great deck. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Oh, they're gonna counter this, and then we're gonna die to their dragon. A little bit awkward. I guess if this was Teferi, like, not having Teferi in our deck has been a meaningful downgrade. Persist has been truly a heinous magic card. Like, shockingly bad. Whereas Teferi, there are spots where Teferi would have been, like, genuinely pretty good for us. So, that is something to remember. Like, I am playing what feels like not a very optimal version of the deck because of the fact that it's playing this card, and this card has just dramatically underperformed expectations. So maybe the 5-color version with Teferi, or 4-color version with Teferi is better. Maybe I need to give that a try at some point. Give that deck a fair shake. Okay, I can go get a dwarf here. So that's nice. And they can't blow the engineered explosives. At the very least, we're going to get something out of their hand or trade with a Ragavan. Is Archon better than Atraxa? Good question. Unsure. Archon is certainly what people play, but whether it's right or not, I could not say. We got to trade with a Ragavan. Oh my god, they just did it so that now they can get another Murktide? Okay. At least they could have got another Murktide anyway. They would have got a treasure or something. Like, I could believe that having Teferi in your deck improves the deck quite a bit over Persist. But I have to say that this list is, by a pretty substantial distance, my least favorite deck I've played in Modern, I think. That's a lie. 5-color Rec was pretty bad. 5-color Reclamation was pretty bad. Just because it was so weak to Force of Vigor, and its mana was so bad in the Blood Moon format. Yep. Sounds about right. Alright, I can now say I've played Creativity. If people ask me to play it ever again, I can just say, no, we already did that. Don't be silly. Why would I play that deck? Anyway, working our way through those tier 1 decks. Now let's all agree to never be creative again. Indeed. Like, there's a lot of green cards in this sideboard. But I have to say that green is not a creative color, despite that. What tier 1 decks do I still need to play? The only one I've not played now is Scam. Cool. Oh, hey, Bacon. Yeah, I love the idea of Persist as well. Like, Persist in theory makes a lot of sense to me, but in practice it feels very clunky. Because you only have the 4 Archons, you only have 7 ways to discard them. And when you don't draw a way to discard them, Persist is literally blank cardboard. So I think Persist is just like not a playable Magic card in the stack. Just like not a card you should play. Certainly not that you should play more than one of. Bitter Reunion was like kind of fine for us though. I don't know. Maybe you could play like one copy of that. I almost put Let's Get Creative in the title, Callie. Almost. Did you ever tell me your chocolate jokes? They're pretty sweet. You gotta take your time milking them out. Oh my god. Bacon. Thank you for the 200 bacon bits. That's very sweet of you. Thank you for supporting me. Hope things are going well with the bacon. Alright. Well, that is creativity done with.